Hello and welcome back to yet another episode of The High Roads. If you have been watching and enjoying our videos, do not forget to subscribe to our channel, like our videos and click on the bell icon for notifications. There is something about the lure of the forests. No matter where Ashwin and I travel, however beautiful the new country or the new city might be, we're almost always back planning our next jungle holiday right after. In April and May this year, we traveled to not one but two wildlife sanctuaries famous for their tigers. Umred Karhandla and followed by Tipeshwar in May to celebrate Ashwin's birthday. Umred and Karhandla, although they are parts of the same wildlife sanctuary, have separate entrance gates. Umred is relatively a smaller forest, but a perfect one at that. Green forest land, complete with a vast blue lake, is a perfect habitat for everyone who calls Umred home. The beautiful trees are bejewelled with birds of exotic colors who make even more exotic sounds. In all, it's a small patch of forest that makes you fall in love with forests all over again. Day 2 turned out to be full of surprises, and as luck would have it, we were to have one of the best tiger sightings ever. Our jeep drove around following calls here and there. I mentioned to you earlier that it's a small forest and we had pretty much driven around in the entire Umred zone several times in the last two safaris. So we all decided that since the tiger sighting didn't look like a possibility, we should better enjoy some undiscovered parts of the forest. As we reached to the end of the zone, lazily looking around at nothing in particular, something very spectacular caught our eye. There she was, in all her glorious black and golden stripes, walking down the road, looking straight at our jeep. Unflinching, confident, and with an extraordinary grace, she walked on the road as if to follow our jeep and as if to remind us who ruled the jungle. For several minutes, she walked on the road, and we backed up our jeep every time she came close. All the tiger lovers who are watching this right now, I don't know if you've ever realized this. It's one thing when you follow the tiger and quite another when the tiger follows you. Nothing, really nothing prepares you for an encounter like this. She slowly walked away and disappeared into the trees and thickets. Swimming in the grass also. On the same evening, we saw this magnificent tigress again by the lake. She had left her cubs in a safe place and climbed up a ridge by the lake in Umred. She then walked past and climbed down to drink some water. She eventually walked away towards a group of wild boars who, it seemed, had gathered for a party or something like that. We've never seen so many wild boars in one place, close to 30 of them enjoying themselves without a care in the world.
She told again. There's so much of yelling. She's looking this side. Okay. ते ढुकल सांबर आहे.
Two of them, one of them. तिकडे पण सांबर आहे.
Day 3, we went to the Karhandla side of the forest. This was yet another interesting day. Ashwin, engrossed in the beauty of the sunrise and chirping birds all around, didn't notice the car move and had a bit of a tumble inside the jeep. But folks, all was good. And we had an incredible sight waiting for us. This was our best day so far, as we saw the tiger, his partner, and 2 of their 3 cubs. What was super fascinating is the way that the 2 cubs crossed the road to run towards their mom and dad. The first one seemed bolder than the other, but the second one rather clumsy and shy. Anyway, thus ended our day in Umred and Karhandla Tip. On our first safari, it had poured for some time and stopped mercifully for us to enjoy rest of the forest. We were almost towards the end of the safari and the jeep ahead of us at a distance spotted something and called us close. It turned out that they had been waiting there for a very long time, and so was the tiger behind the thickets to be noticed. It's so amazing that these tigers can so easily camouflage themselves and go unnoticed so easily to the untrained eyes. This was a subadult male, and he then walked about for a bit, climbed up on a small ridge in front of us, and then went away. The other safaris we did not sight any tigers, but truly enjoyed the forest nevertheless. Saw some new and incredibly beautiful birds, trees, and everything else that a wonderful forest promises. We returned very satisfied and grateful for the surreal experiences in these 2 trips of ours. If there ever was a choice between a city life and a life close to the forests, I am sure by now you know what we would choose.